Okay, hey. So we're going to continue moving forward with this now that I know that everything is working properly. I had to just go and check some stuff before I got an hour and a half into this. Anyway, so that little part uploaded and we'll finish this and then I'll upload the rest of it.
Even talking about it also has
All right, so
it's about full faith and credit.
he doesn't want to tell you what he's reading because he knows that he's contradicting the read in front of your eyes.
Yeah, see, they
didn't change
they
anything.
Changed it up.
No, they didn't.
You know, just from us going in and doing our due diligence.
They tried to put it more
they
explicitly.
went in and changed some stuff up, so we know, they don't want us to know this information, and
before they did not want you to know, but now that those gatekeepers have been removed, they do want you to know.
That was not another one.
Yeah, they want you to know so you can stop participating in bullshit.
This is another one I want to go into too. A situation in which the government agrees to repay a debt no matter what.
That's what they do every time they take you into court.
Bond backed by full faith and credit.
They've decided that they are going to get some money out of it.
The U.S. must find some way to repay.
So they're going to help somebody else prosecute you unmercilessly.
It goes into the treasuries, these other bonds.
Yes, it is a treasury security. That's where they hold all of the
faith and credit bonds because they have this backing. Municipalities may also attach full faith and credit to their bonds.
And the courts.
But this means less than the credit of the United States.
It does mean less than.
But
because the United States,
as we've read earlier,
is fictitious, and they are saying all this other stuff. So
or higher.
The United States will also issue you the bond to yourself so that you can go and take this bond and you can say, hey, stop those proceedings there because this is unlawful. They don't have a right to go and get this bond, which is hidden in the discovery that they never want to give over because the Vatican, who owns them, says, hey, and I read that in myself in those letters. It says, hey, don't give out that discovery. If you give out that discovery, then people will know. The information will get out. People will know that they are not prosecutable. Now, some people are prosecutable because they work for the system. And they are fully beholden to all prosecutions that are due them. But it seems that they have given the system workers protections from prosecution, and all others who are not supposed to be obligated with the prosecutions, those people are getting the prosecutions. Okay, and they prosecute those people because those people are generally the A1 categories in each nation who has the real wealth. So they allow those people to be prosecuted time and time again for as long as they can possibly hold them in order to reap as much benefit, money, gold from them as possible. This in your own name, under your own ownership, registered properly and given notice. This does everything for you. Now, you do have to go through the government offices, file the paperwork that says, I own this thing and I am the only person who does own this thing. All others are pretenders. That's why every time they create a corporation under your name, you can look it up through the business department, run your little bond number through the business department, and you will find the articles of not the articles of incorporation. You will find significance that they did use your document to give a business name to. Why would they give it a business name? They gave it a business name because they're operating business. They've become the operators because you're not operating. So they are operating. Okay. So this man is telling you not to get an authentication. He is about to keep telling you that you're going to need an apostille so that they can have legal rights to come and steal your children because you have given them such. as you are ignorant and do not know the difference between an apostille and an authentication because you have never learned what the Hague Convention is. And you don't know what its treaty members are taking part in. So let's go ahead and let this person continue to give us erroneous information.
Level entity will back the lower entity. That's what the authentication process is, getting your birth certificate authenticated through these different levels, because you have to send it to the Secretary of State first, and then to the federal level, to DC. So
that would be the Department of Secretary of State.
As I broke down in the other video, I didn't really explain it in this one.
But I will.
Authentication is the second and third processes after a notary. So
no, it's not.
Any document that's notarized, basically.
No. He is a bold-faced, erroneous lie. That is just a lie. It is erroneous as all heck. I didn't even bother to remember what it was. I just was pissed off that he was lying. Anyway, whatever he just said, let me back it up so I can tell you why it's a lie.
So, as I broke down in the other video, I didn't really explain it in this one. Authentication is the second and third processes after a notary.
Okay, that's what it was. It is not the second and third process after a notary. It is the very first process. You have gotten your document from the Vital Statistics Office, and it must be new within the last 2 years, because it has to be a person who can be brought forward in order to testify as to the validity of the document. If necessary, Vital Statistics Office, I'm pretty certain it's not necessary. I don't know. Not on the level that an individual needs to do it. Business to business, yes, it might, because the government is going to have, or the Republic is going to have to sue them. So, okay, so now I just explained that.
So,
yeah, though, going back to the notarization. Okay, so your document does not get notarized. It does not get notarized. Someone else doesn't have to come forward and say, yeah, I know that this is true. I know that they did this, because you didn't do that. The signatures that are on here, they didn't come from you, and they didn't come by reason of you. Okay? So, these signatures that are on here already, this is the authorization. This is the notarization, because those people are in official positions. The notary goes back to them and says, hey, yes. I witnessed that they did that. Okay? The notary doesn't need to tell government officials, hey, me on my little low level here in my locality that I am in various parts of the world. Yeah, I don't need to recognize you and your big offices who have recognized and given me authority to recognize others. So he is lying. The notarization never comes into play. They're lying. Okay, he is, like he opened with, people don't know, they have not properly learned. He is talking about himself.
Document that's notarized, basically, can be authenticated. But it just happens that the birth certificate, is a little bit more than just a regular affidavit. It's a bond, printed on banknote paper.
The birth certificate is not an affidavit. An affidavit is you, in your individual capacity, saying, hey, I am giving you a certain bunch of facts, and I am saying that I stand by these facts, and I am prosecutable I'm prosecutable through the legal system, or even through the law if I am lying. That is what an affidavit means, okay?
Matter of fact, let me get into that, because
please do, nigga.
I want to go a little bit further. This is part of what we got going on. Our status correction process. This is the private side. This is not the public side. And this is just one of the documents. There are a few more, but authenticate your birth certificate. You must first identify/acquire the birth certificate. As the long form certificate of live birth. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting messages.
Okay, did you see how he just skipped over a word there? Because that skipping was absolutely necessary to take notice of. Okay? That word "or" is very, very significant. Now, the reason why it's so significant is because it's letting you know that you have options. You can get the long form, or you can get the live form. Now, when you get the live form, generally it is only available for like the first 25, 26 years of life. And maybe that has ended now because it was limited, because they were pretending that if you didn't come back and do it and request that form and do the authentication and all the other stuff, they were saying that you were dead. That you were dead and you didn't have a right to come back and get it. So they give you what is literally the death certificate, and you have to prove that you are alive by way of an affidavit where you get others to sign for you and say, yes, yes, yes. We know that this person came into being, and this person is the same exact person that has been here all of these years. No one else is using this affidavit to fraud the system, because you're giving it back to the system. So you're saying no one is using this affidavit to fraud the system. All right, now we're going to keep moving and let him tell us another insignificant thing.
Back and forth. So if I'm looking down or something, I'm not talking. There are two long forms and two short forms. Here's a long form and a short form. They're both City of New York. Now, the two long forms are the city/municipal bond document and the state/register bond document. You can tell the difference by the seals at the bottom. The city/municipal certificate of live birth has a city seal and a state seal. The state or register bond certificate of live birth has two state seals. And here's some examples. These are actually mine. You see on the left, it has a City of Houston seal, and on the right, it's the Texas, but it also has City of Houston vital statistics. So we know this was definitely issued at the municipal level.
Okay, he totally explained that completely wrong. Okay, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to bring it back, and I am going to show you what it is that he did not tell you. This right here is the death certificate, where you have to prove that you are alive. This one right here is the long form certificate, where it says that you are alive and it is already registered. Now all you have to do is attach an ownership claim to it, or attach an affidavit of ownership to it, and you a notice of claim, and you submit it to the county register. Okay? You do the same thing with this one, only this is not a death certificate, so you don't need an affidavit of life. Okay? An affidavit of life, that's what it is, an affidavit of life. So, this down here, he's telling you about these two fucking symbols. Like, these two symbols are important. One of them is the state that issued you the damn document. The other one is the Vital Statistics Office. Okay? That's all that is. That's the health department. So the health department is saying, yeah, this person's dead. Oh, no, this person's alive. So this is the health department. The reason why the health department does not issue you a live birth after about 20 to 25 years is because they are going along with the fraud. Now, what the fraud says in the Certificate Act is, and it's not even in the act, because like I said, the Certificate is a thing of protection to protect the fact that you had something to come back and claim. The fraud steps in when they start issuing this damn certificate after 20 years. This begins the fraud. Now, the reason why they issue this is because everywhere you go, they say this is dead, this person don't have no authority. Everywhere you take this thing to, hey, this person is alive, they have all the authority, you can't fuck with them. Okay, so that's what it is. You have to take this one down and register this one. This one you can just take it to the register and be like, yeah, just put this in the record and I'm moving forward, da-da-da-da-da. That's why they don't want you to do it until after your 20th day. I think they said your 21st birthday or something. So that's why you can only go back 20 years in the record, which is a lie. Because once you start applying this stuff, there are no time limitations. Because once a thing has been done, you can always force accountability for that thing being done. Now, the United States put time limits on everything because they are the ones chiefly who are doing all of the fraud. And in order for them not to be prosecutable, by the time that most people learn this, they've already exceeded the 20 years, never knowing that the submittal of this document was necessary. And then all of a sudden it's expired. You can no longer go back and get this. And if you did not save this, if you've lost this through whatever means, then they issue you this, and they pretty much had been hiding the Certificate, and people, or Certificate, and people did not know that the Certificate was a protection. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna unmute him and let him start giving you erroneous information more.
The state or registered bond certificate of live birth has two state seals. And here's some examples. These are actually mine. You see on the left, it has a City of Houston seal, and on the right, it's the Texas, but it also has City of Houston vital statistics. So we know this was definitely issued at the municipal level. Now, here's the state bond or the registered bond. And as you can see on the left, State of Texas, Department of State, Public Health, Vital Statistics went on the right. So these were issued out of two jurisdictions. And there are two long forms, two short forms. So I just showed you the difference in the long forms. You could go back and find the short forms. But when it comes to authentication for the purposes of, these claims and whatnot, the short form, people say you really don't need to do that one. I say it really doesn't matter as much. What you do want is the long forms. And I've done one, but I'm going back to do the other because I found some legal reasons why you might need both. And you just might want to claim both on both levels at the same time as well. So, I'll definitely be informing people on that.
Okay, so while he's informing people about how to get screwed over, let me go ahead and tell you this part right here too, because actually I really like that he did all of this. I think I probably should have listened to part one. I should probably go back and find part one of whatever he has done, because this is better than what I was doing. I'm just talking to you off the top of your head. He presented all this stuff, which allows me to negate everything that he's saying, but still tell you how to properly do this thing. Okay, so right over here, they've got this thing, use your free national name. Now, don't listen to none of that dumb shit. Okay, don't listen to that dumb shit. The reason why you're not going to listen to that dumb shit is because once you do the, the registration, Which you take it down to the county and you put it on the federal, or on you take it down to the county recorder's office and you put it on the federal record because you're giving it to them. They're going to take it in, they're going to scan it and run it through their system. Okay, so he's going to tell you in a minute not to allow the separation of the documents. Then you're not going to get properly recorded. That's all it is. You're not going to get recorded. So either you're going down to the recorder's office to record your documents where you will separate it and take that little brass piece off, or you won't separate it and you won't get any, what do you call it? Credit for being the owner. And then everyone else that just came through and set up a corporation around your birth certificate, they will all be considered the owners, and they have a right to allow you to keep getting prosecuted. Okay. So anyway, let me go ahead and continue. When you take those documents down there and they record them properly, they're going to give you a piece of paper. And they're going to say, in order for you to properly record these things, you need to take this. Wait a minute. Hold on. They're going to tell you that you need to take that packet, and there are other things to go along with the packet. There we go. So they're going to give you a piece of paper on the top of there, and it's going to say, hey, why you've got to tell them why you are recording those documents. So they want an explanation, okay? I'm not going to let you see my explanation. They want you to give an explanation about why you're recording these documents. They also are going to give you a little sticker or something back. This is kind of like the little seal that they give you. And it's going to have information on there. It's got a number on there. And it also will give you a receipt for your transaction, because they are going to charge you money. Now, I've done this a few times, so I keep all my little receipts with me. They're going to give you a receipt for your transaction. It's going to tell you how much you paid. Now, in addition to that, it's also going to give you one name to be referred by, okay? One name. See how they've got one name written there. One name. That is my name. That is my one name. Okay. That is the release of the slave name. You want to call it a slave name, your tribal name, where your family came from, what your family's been called here. Now, it is a slave name. It is a slave name because these last names did not come about until after the Roman soldiers were running through the land, slaughtering and murdering people, and the significance that you had complied was the fact that you now were saying these two names. You were no longer a person with a title that says, hey, I am so-and-so, like I am Latrice, who is the daughter of so-and-so, who does the such and such, and we live around their way. Okay? So you were supposed to be, like I was supposed to be Latrice, the daughter of so-and-so, who was by the, let me just give a location, by the beach in Indiana. I'm not going to tell you where in Indiana. I'm not going to tell you what beach. Okay, so I'm Latrice from so-and-so's daughter that lives by the beach. Okay, that's your title. All right, now probably there is something a little bit different than that or whatever, but literally that's what it was. Or your title was, we live in this town of bunches of people and everything, and I am so-and-so, the Taylor's daughter. So there you get now you have the last name Taylor. Okay, I am Latrice. I am so-and-so's daughter. Okay, well, I'm the daughter of the smith. Was I the goldsmith? Was the locksmith? Were you the silversmith? What kind of metal were you working with? Oh, you're the cobbler. Okay, so you're the daughter of the cobbler. So what are you gonna say? You know, you're somebody's soul. You're somebody cobbled. Like, anyway, you had a title. So Your slave name really was simply a description of where you came from or what you did back in the day. Okay. So I'm the truth teller. So maybe I'm the light bringer. Let's go ahead and Latrice Lightbringer. There we go.
A little bit more in the future. I don't have all the information right now, but what I will say is that, you know, depending on what processes you're trying to do, you may need a different one. Like the municipal level bond is considered to be, or municipal birth certificate is considered to be closest to the original. So people say authenticate that one. But if you're trying to go through the process to get a passport, a U.S. passport in the non-citizen national status or any status, they need a state level birth certificate. They can't use the municipal level, even if it is authenticated. I'm pretty sure even if it's authenticated, they still want the one with the state seals, you know, as what they...
Okay, I want to say that right now. He is lying. He is lying his ass off. They do not require you to be authenticated. I was not authenticated when I received my passport. I started listening to information later, and I realized that the authentication was necessary, and later I went and got an authentication. My authentication is not as old as my passport. My passport is definitely predating my authentications. Both of them. I have two. Both of my authentications came after my passport was issued. And my passport still allowed me to be in DC before this thing got authenticated and not get arrested while I was walking through the Capitol building with a weapon in my purse. Okay?
A website said when I was working on this process at one point in time before. And looks like I just overtalked that next paragraph. But yeah, like I say, the preferred one most people say is the municipal or city level certificate of live birth getting authenticated as advised. It's close to the original. There's another thing. Make a scanned copy of your records. Like, scan it into a computer before you send it in for authentication, and once you get it back from the state, scan that one in too on top. Like, just scan the top page and then do the same thing once you get back from DC with the final one. So that way you'll have...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You should scan all your documents just so that you have a record of all of your documents. But it really does not matter if you do it before or after. Once it's official, it's official. There's nothing making it not official. Now, I would say that simply because these people have been removed from these offices. The military has been kicking ass. They are not allowing lawlessness to continue. That's it.
Basically digital copies, and you won't have to worry about trying to take it apart or detach it, which will basically make it lose all its legal weight.
You're not going to lose any legal weight. That shit is still good. It is still working for you. Maybe you want to get a couple of them. I've got a couple of them. But still, no matter what, it's going to work for you.
Unattach it. So that's something you don't want to do. Another thing I did, and y'all can check this out, I filled it out in my free national name, and I keep that receipt, and I have it.
Okay, I don't know what his national name or his free national name is. I don't know, and I really don't care, but I am going to say I consulted with the guy who called me probably now, it's been about a month, and he was so very blasted confused, and I think I even put a video out on this, where he was just like, I don't comprehend why they didn't let me get my passport. Probably because your national name ain't your birth certificate name, and that birth certificate was presented to you, given to you, and it was originally attached to all of your wealth. So now you done told them that you're somebody else. That's somebody else that just came up randomly out of nowhere, is not attached to family wealth. They are not attached to a family. You just came and told them, hey, somebody out of the wild blue yonder is trying to get hold of this account here. And they're saying, wild blue yonder, don't you bring yourself on over here with your thieving and stealing asses. We don't know you. We can't lock you back to these documents. Get your ass out of here. So that's what this guy ran into. So I'm going to go ahead and let this man keep lying to you.
Together with all those other documents. Let's see this. Let me read this at the bottom real quick. This process does not make your certificate of live birth authentic. It grants your natural person the right to take a straw man out of their jurisdiction by certifying a document.
What did I just say? What did I say? I said that allows others to go get your documents so that you can be prosecuted. Now, when it says this jurisdiction here, jurisdiction there, jurisdiction only exists according to the corporation. When you have separated yourself and you said, I am not part of that corporation, that's called disregarding your entity. So when you have separated yourself and you said, I am not a part of this corporation, I am not. Then they say, oh, you're not a part of the corporation? Oh shit, we can't prosecute you. We don't have no membership charge or paperwork on you. Now, since you don't have no damn membership paperwork, hey, they can't say that you have to give to the charitable causes, to the charitable organizations. You cannot be prosecuted. You cannot be upheld to the organizations, to the corporations' rules, ordinances, and bylaws. You can't be prosecuted for them because you ain't a member of the corporation. But if you are telling people that you are a Moor and the Moors are pledged to be good citizens, then your ass is a member of the corporation. They have corporate papers on you. You are locked and sealed up tight in that corporation. Now, as these Moors move forward and they start realizing, identifying what the hell they've done wrong, they're going to try to start solidifying all of that shit. Because honestly, I believe they are 501c3 corporations. I believe they're under some banner of protection that comes by legalese. Okay, now that shit locks you into 20 years. So for 20 years, your ass is going to have to be beholden to the corporation's bullshits. Now, what other things inside of the corporation did you become a member of? Now you are beholden to that membership as well. So when you say, oh, well, my 20 years is up, they're going to be like, no, it ain't, no, it ain't, no, it ain't. You extended your 20 years by getting into this corporation. Oh, you extended your 20 years again by getting into that corporation. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Did you read the rules for these corporations that you did? Because those corporations are tied to other sets of rules that we didn't even tell you about. You had to actually read the rules to find out that you were tied to those things. And then you had to go read the rules on those things that you were tied to and find out what those rules are. But you didn't do none of that. You don't even know what the hell a 501c3 is. You don't even know all of the different aspects of it. You don't know what other little part are corporate protection categories that you could have fallen into. You don't know what other positions you could have taken in order to not fall into a corporate protection. Because it's not a protection. You are maybe being let out of some taxes, but you're still paying taxes and you're still a member in the corporation. And you still have to go and get a job so that you can participate and purchase and buy things so that you'll have fiat to purchase and buy things. Now, if you're going to go by the way of saying, hey, I'm not going to work with that fiat shit. I'm going to go get something else. I just want to know, did these Moors send you your portion of the gold? Did they send you the notification that you had a right to partake in the usage of the gold? Oh, they still got you out there working. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back to this man giving you bad information.
Once you receive it back, there will be a certificate from the state attached. Scan it in for your records. Do not attach. Basically what I was just saying. They're gonna have a certificate on top. Don't take it off. Scan it in so you have some good copies. And Yeah, fill it out in your natural name, so they're conveying it over to the natural person. And
Do you see what he says? This process. So whatever in the hell he had done, this process does not make your certificate of live birth authentic. It grants your natural person the right to take your straw man out of... Oh, this is some shit that he wrote up. This is some shit that he wrote up. This is not an actual receipt from some company. This is the Moorish shit. This is Moorish information shit. Okay, so they're telling you, oh, it takes your straw man out of, and that's the wrong word of there. It's the wrong form. Out of the jurisdiction. Okay. By certifying to the document. So they're letting you know this document is still not certified. It's still not certified, and you still have been granted no leeway. You're still inside of their jurisdiction. You're not authentic, so you're not outside. You're inside of the jurisdiction. You're inside of corporation bounds. I can go anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. There's no corporate bounds for me. I can go anywhere in anything and do anything. And the only thing that they can ever find out is we don't have a right to tell her what to do, where to go, and do anything else. We don't have any rights over this woman at all. So let's go ahead and let this man keep lying to you.
yeah, I wasn't even going to get into this, but there are two ways that you can be a secured party to a document or to a account, bond, or whatever that is. Well, there are four ways total, but two of them require filing, and two of them don't. And most people that actually study the UCCs, teach them and all of that, they should know this, but I guess they interpret it differently. And, I have the book right now. I can pull it out and show it on camera. But basically...
But that would be giving away trade secrets. And this man is not authenticated, and he does not have the right to speak, because if he does, they will prosecute him.
You're a secured party just by...
That's why he's not going to show you that book.
Possession of the collateral.
Being the secured party, anybody can be the damn secured party. Anybody that has decided that you've given them permission, you've allowed them to be your representative in some way or another, because they have your signature on file that they can show that, present that, and they can say, hey, I was working with this person, so I am the secured party. I am secured by the government. I am promised that these persons with this obligation of government funding, this person, I can now sue them. So I am secured in my ability to sue them. Didn't I say it was so that you could be prosecuted? Anybody can go and get your stuff, your paperwork, your bond, they can get it authorized, and they don't have full faith and credit, but they do have authorization to sue your ass.
I don't think I have to say what the collateral is. We talking about it right now, the bond, the birth certificate. Especially when you authenticate it, put it up to, the highest level of evidence, so you can make a claim against it. Yeah. So, and the other form is...
Oh, wait, before he starts saying that, you're never going to make a claim against it. You are going to claim it. Do you see what I'm saying? They are putting a claim against it so they can get money out of you. Okay? Their claim against it creates them as a secured party. Your claiming of it creates your security by saying no one else can bring this claim against me. I am not beholden to those rules.
Delivery. And believe it or not, people, what constitutes delivery is authentication. When you send it to the Secretary of State, they deliver it back to you. And look at the name on the receipt.
Yes, they do. They have delivered it to you. So you have received it. Now, that word receive is very important because you need to be the receiver. But you can't be the receiver until you let different offices know that you have put yourself into a receiving position.
Receipt. Who did they convey this record to? You know, is your national name on the receipt? You might want to check that out. Maybe go back and get it redone. I don't know. You know, however you feel. But no biggie either way. This is the state certificate right here on the left, and then this is the federal one on the right. So there are two different authentication certificates. You can see on both of them I scratched off the numbers for the picture, just to redact the document.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so as I said, that receiver allows you to receive. The reason why being a receiver is really, really important is because every time somebody gets sued, then people get paid. So who is going to be receiving your money? Every time you get those dividends in the mail that you believe are bills that you're supposed to pay that erroneously, so you go out and you do that, somebody is receiving that money. Who the hell is receiving that money? That's why you need to go and be the receiver.
Document for safety purposes, but that's what they attach to it. And as you can see, in the top left corner, both of them is a brass rivet. These are not my best scans of it. I have brass scans rivet before then, even before they put that brass rivet in, because that comes from the federal level, not the state level. The state just staples it, or at least out here they.
The brass rivet is considered your container.
It's real cheap the way they handle it. Let me read this off, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Repeat the last step. Send the second document DC file. Authentication. Yeah. Once you receive, give it back in the mail. You need to claim it properly as to acknowledge the property of a grant deed / quiet title.
You hear what he just said? You need to claim it as to acquire your grant title, your quiet title, your grant deed, your quiet title. So either somebody is going to go and claim it, and they're going to say, I'm going to go ahead and get the deed to this land so I can claim this money. I can be the receiver on this money. Or either you're going to claim it. My goodness. This man is telling you the truth and telling you lies and mixing it all up and making it appear that it's a mistake. It's not a mistake. There's only one way that these words can be interpreted, and he is doing it erroneously on purpose.
A quiet deed transfer that just lawfully happened. I'm going to read that one more time, and then I'm going to just ask.
Your quiet deed just transferred when you went and got this authentication. You transferred all your property. You transferred the property. You don't even know you transferred the property. You still running around angry because you don't know that you transferred the property. Now, I didn't realize it either. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the truth. I only learned in the last few days when I started reading the UCC. I had forever pulled the files for the UCC a long time ago, but I was like, I want to read the code so I know what happens here, because where the UCC is written, I think it's in Title 26, I think I just said. Anyway, so it's way down there in Title 26. I hadn't gotten to that part. I was still right at the very beginning. So I was like, you know what? I pulled this file UCC, but I didn't read the beginning. Let me go back and read the beginning. So now that I have read all the way down to Title 26 and beyond a little bit, now I've read more than that because I've read almost all of it. I just haven't I hadn't read it in order. So a lot of stuff wasn't coming together. It wasn't making sense. And I did tell everybody, start in order, because it won't come together for you. It won't make sense. You'll have bunches of abstract information here and there. Remember what I started when I said this? I've done all my stuff out of order. I have abstract information here and there, and I had done many different things, and I did not realize the validity of these things. Okay. So now I do realize the validity of these things, and let's go and get valid. Okay, so anyway, yeah.
I y'all to get up with me on that, because I can't break that down no further. I've been talking till I'm blue in the face about
I did just break it down. You don't need to go back to him.
that. But once you receive the fully authenticated certificate of live birth back in the mail, you need to claim it property as to acknowledge the property of a grant deed / quiet title or quiet deed transfer that just lawfully happened. Your natural person was granted the custodian of the straw man. The doc we use to claim.
Okay, now he is going to tell you that it is called the Affidavit of Independent Administration. Why the fuck would you do that? No. You're not going to do that. You're going to put an affidavit of ownership because you are owning it. You're going to put in a notice of claim because you claimed it. You own it. You claimed it. You're having to claim it, okay? You need to let them know, hey, I'm putting this on the record. I'm letting the record know I'm claiming this.
And the authenticated certificate of live birth is the affidavit of independent administration. This doc claims nationality, ex-relation.
Oh, yeah, he does say it's to be filed with the county recorder. And a district court. Active or not. Oh, if your case is active or not. Okay. The county recorder is going to let the court know. If you don't have an active case going on, that's not going, it's not going to cover you. Now, when you do have an active case going on, it covers you for that case. It does not cover you for life. That's the difference. When you walk in there and you got an active case going on and you use the authenticated birth certificate, then the authentication is covering you for that case. It is not covering you for anything else. Okay, so I authenticated my birth certificate. I had 2 of them laying around, and all of a sudden I got a ticket. When the ticket came through, the ticket was valid. I hadn't told the court system that I hadn't told the register, which tells the court that they couldn't come and prosecute me, okay? But technically, I received that before the case came in. So the case really wasn't valid. So I went to the case, told them, hey, look, I'm not participating in this shit and everything. They didn't try to jail me after I told them that, after I didn't pay it, because I fucking left there and I didn't pay shit. I didn't pay it. So they didn't send me any more things through the mail saying that I owed them jack shit. But they did slide into my email box. Hey, you owe us. You got to pay us. They sent me a thing, notification. They sent me like 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. I was finding them because it was going to my spam mail. It wasn't even coming to my mail. I just happened to check spam. Normally, I just throw spam away. But I happened to check it. I don't know how many times it had come before then because I just throw spam away. I never checked the spam box. So anyway, they had not sent no officers to my door. Nobody, and the officer did knock on my door and said, hey, we've got this notification of your violation here. You've got to come to court. Nigga, I don't have to come to court, but I will. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I went down there, unafraid, told them the law. They said, well, you didn't write it down. We still going to sue you. And I said, okay, that's cool. Do what you got to do. Because when I write it down, you're not ever going to sue nobody else. Never, ever, 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 ever again. Ever, ever. Because you're not going to breathing. Because all of you that combine together to present this case to me, y'all a conspiracy. A conspiracy is punishable by piracy charges. So a piracy charge, once it is proven to be true, that is an execution. That's why you don't have to get mad at these people. They are executing themselves. That's why they said, hey, you know, just stand back and watch, because we're going to watch these people do all this lawless stuff, and we're just going to round them up as they do the lawless stuff. So each of these violations, these groups of people that are combined to do these things, these are executions. So anyway, let's let this man keep on telling us tales.
Discharged bond, claim, discharge, qualified expatriation, and all the above.
Oh, okay. When he's telling you all this expatriation and da-da-da-da. Now, he opened with telling everybody, hey, we handle all of this stuff for you. We do all of these little steps one by one. Why would I want to do all this shit one by one when I can do one act and it'll cover everything? Why? Okay. That's all I want to know.
It's a diverse status correction document. Yes, indeed. Especially attaching this authenticated birth certificate because it has a few different implications, the travel and the financial aspects. Filing it. Attach copies of your authenticated birth certificate, all 3 certificates, to the back of your affidavit of independent administration for filing purposes. Combine the documents to be filed with the county recorder of deeds or court that's active, the treasurer, and your state comptroller. Yeah, that's good. A custodian of a record has a secured interest once he authenticates the record. I think I was just talking about that. I didn't realize it was in here. The custodian becomes a secure party after taking custody of bond documents through Rule 44 evidenced by the United States Authentication Certificate. Remember, the certificate of live birth is a doc for authentication.
Okay, it might be in your custody, but you're not a custodian. You're not a custodian and you're not a guardian because you're the actual owner. There are a lot of titles that you will hold, but custodian and guardian is not one of them. You don't have to be that because you're not representing someone else. You, once this is all done, have proven yourself to be competent and you are representing yourself. Now, if you are not representing yourself, then who the hell is representing you? And can you honestly afford to put faith in these damn people who have oaths to the corporation? Because their oath says that they're going to keep the corporation moving and growing and doing. Their oath does not say that they're protecting you. So if they're not protecting you, why are you hiring them? Why are you giving them fiat? Okay, now the only person that could really help and protect you, if you trust them that well, is your family member. Now, your family member, the reason why they want to protect you is because this is family wealth. This is tribal wealth. You want your family, your tribe, your group of bloodline members, you want your lineage, your heritage, you want all of those people to be in the know so that you can all protect one another. So if some craziness happens and they're incapacitated and they can't speak for themselves, you just step right on in there. Hey, don't do this to my people. Hey, I'm here. I'm representing. Hey, I am here. Don't do this to my people. I'm protecting. Why do you want to do that? Because at some point, you might be incapacitated and somebody might need to speak for you. And if you got somebody speaking that's under oath, that's not speaking for you. They're speaking for the corporation.
It's not a doc for identification. It's a security printed on banknote paper. Now, I think that was in my Instagram post. I scrolled past it real quick, but if you don't know, just go pull yours out and look at it. Most of them have it at the bottom. You know, it'll show you what banknote company directly is from. But I'll give you the definition of banknote. A banknote resembles a common promissory note issued by a bank A corporation authorized to act as a bank. A corporation authorized to act as a bank.
Okay, now let me tell you where whatever he's reading, you can better find the information right here in these articles. Literally, this says negotiable instruments. This will tell you what to do with a negotiable instrument. This will tell you what rights the bank has. Remember that you yourself are a bank. Okay, this will tell you, obviously, funds transfer. This will tell you what qualifies for that and how that is achieved. This will tell you about the letters of credit. This tells you bulk transfers. You know what bulk transfer is? Your whole fucking family. Because this is your container. But then when you move the family, you got a bulk container. You get a bulk transfer. This is your individual container. This rivet is your individual container. Okay. Let's go ahead. Anyway, so all of these things right here, whatever he is telling you here, this can be better comprehended when you go slow line by line and read all of this information. Read it all. I wasn't quite finished reading with the reading, and I happened to look at another couple of videos so somebody else could better explain to me how it is I was filling out a particular form. Once that form went away, or that video went away, this video popped up, and because I wasn't near the remote or the computer, whichever it was that I found it, I think I found it through both of them, because I was looking at my television using my YouTube, and then I was in my computer applying things. And anyway, the videos, they populate themselves if you put it on autoplay. So autoplay pulled this up. And then I was listening to this, and I was like, at first I was listening because I was like, well, maybe he'll tell me something that I didn't run across, that I didn't do accurately. And then I started listening, really, really in-depth listening, and I was like, whoa, hold on. Let me rewind that. And then I was like, wait a minute. All of this shit is wrong. I'm listening to this because I'm stupid. I'm stupid for listening to this because I am so far advanced in this shit. And then when I was like, no. Let me tell people how many views did they get down here? There's 78 comments. And there are, he's got 5,000 subscribers. So 5.5. So 5,500 people, almost 6,000 people could be being led astray. So I was like, okay, I don't know how many views it actually got. 7,000, almost 7,500 views. So all of these people, that's more than subscribers he has. Okay, so all of these people have been led astray. They've all been led astray. All of them. So I want to stop them from doing that. I want to stop that from happening. Oh, yeah. See how I told him this? Let's go ahead and see what he's told me. I said, you fuddled that. You were ass backwards on every bit of information you distributed. You explained nothing correctly. It's almost as if you were sabotaging the people on purpose. Well, if that's how you feel, you missed every bit of it because I showed definitions. Maybe you should learn to read first. Well, did I not show you how several times he was skipping over the information because he didn't want to read it thoroughly, because the information was being just blatantly put out there in the world for all to see? Yes. That's what I did. That's what I opened with. So let's let him finish.
And who issues these birth certificates? The vital statistics? You're authorized to act as a bank? Okay. It is, in fact, a promissory note. But such notes are not, for many purposes, to be considered as mere securities for money, but are treated as money in an ordinary course of transactions of business. I'm gonna run that back just a little bit. It is in fact a promissory note, but such notes are not for many purposes to be considered as merely securities for money, but are treated as money. And they talking about the birth certificate on banknote paper. In the ordinary course and transaction of business, by general consent of mankind and on payment of them. When a receipt is required, the receipts are always given as for money, not as for securities or notes. And that was the definition of banknote. Just followed up, showing.
So basically, they're telling you what I just basically confessed is I had done all of these steps, and they don't give you a receipt for these steps being done. They only give you a receipt when you have exchanged fiat back and forth. That is what they will tell you is a receipt. But as he just revealed, they do not give you receipts for steps done. Okay? So as you don't have any receipts and you don't have any verification that these steps have been already finished and completed, there's none of that. There is just, do you know the information? Do you realize how far you've gotten? If you don't know the information, you don't realize how far you've gotten. If you don't realize how far you've gotten, then you are lost, and they are extremely happy. I was lost. I'm still doing stuff that I didn't realize, hey, I don't need to do that because really I'm done. Okay. There are a couple things that I need to do still, but this is why I'm still reading, as you all should be doing, because obviously I have proven that I know how to read, as Mr. Walter Davis Bay has proven that he does not know how to read, or he does not know how to comprehend. But let's allow him to continue not comprehending, not reading thoroughly, and definitely not giving proper description to any of this. And he is definitely leading the masses astray.
Rule 44, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. If you caught my last video, basically when I was going in on court stuff, remedies, tricks and stuff, their chess moves, I was talking about the state rules of civil procedure, but they have federal rules of procedure as well. And go back and watch that video if you haven't. But this is almost the exact same thing we read off the website. Rule 44, proving an official record to foreign record. In general, each of the following evidences a foreign official record. So it can be official record. Or an entity in it that is otherwise admissible. The record or copy that is attested by an authorized person is accompanied by either a final certificate of genuineness or by a certification under a treaty. Authentication. You remember that Hague Convention Treaty I showed y'all? That was why. Because an authenticated document falls under the treaty. Well, it falls outside the treaty, actually. Or convention, which the United States and the country where the record is located are parties. So, where the parties are located can be outside of the United States jurisdiction. Authentication of a document authorizes the registered/beneficial owner to use the named document for international use, travel within or outside international jurisdictions who have or haven't signed to the October 5th, 1961 Apostle Treaty or the Hague Convention. Because an authenticated document can be used inside or outside that treaty.
Let me stop him again. Once you are authenticated, you are outside of the corporation. Corporation don't want shit to do with your ass no more. Because as you are back in your nationality, the corporation works for you. If you are down there bumping around inside of the corporation with elbows and shit, you are in your national sovereign status. You don't have to listen to them. If they start telling you shit or doing shit to you, bumping around with you, they are setting themselves up for an execution. Didn't I say these people always say, get the fuck away from her, get the fuck away from her, get the fuck away from her? Didn't I tell you I threaten these people all the time with a standard form 95? Okay. Those people do not want to be anywhere in my vicinity. Nowhere. Nowhere in my vicinity. These people want me to stay home. The day I had a couple of incidents happen, but one day I had an incident that happened and they had to come and they identified me. They were like, oh shit, we done ran into this bitch. Later on, I was like, hey, I didn't get a thing I was supposed to have received. Matter of fact, not only did I not get the thing, but you didn't even leave me notification of the thing. I just got an email here saying that this is a notification, but literally you're supposed to leave a notification on my door giving me the certain information that goes along with the ability to come and pick this thing up from your offices now that you haven't left it on my door. I comprehend why you didn't leave it on my door because it's a valuable item, but you have to leave me information that allows me to come back and claim this thing. Well, at this point, they had already identified me already, right? So they're like, no, we'll deliver it to you again. And I was like, no, I don't like your timetable. I'm coming to get my shit myself. And they were like, no. You don't have to come get it. We'll bring it to you. So the next thing I know, they said, well, yeah, just turn around and go back home. And because I was halfway there. I was halfway there to the UPS. And they're like, no. You don't have to come to us. You don't have to come to us. We will bring it to you. We'll bring it to you. Okay. So, and they're under oath. They have agreements. They're supposed to do certain things certain ways. If I walk in there and I make a complaint, you didn't do this thing this way. Hey, they're in trouble. Now, they ain't about to get executed and shit, but they really could lose their job because now you're pretending that you're operating a job properly. And I've just walked in there and I've said, no, you're not doing this properly. Well, if you're not doing a thing properly, then that means you're fraudulent. And in being fraudulent, now you really can be prosecuted for that fraud. All of this shit gets real technical. So whatever in the hell did I stop to say that this fool was like giving you like bullshit? He was giving you bullshit because like I said, they told me they were like, no, we'll bring it to you. It was at my house in like 10 minutes. I walked in the door. I got out of the car, put my key in the door, put my shit down, and I walked through the house. I might have had time to go take a pee-pee. I think I did have time to take a pee-pee. But by the time I finished, my phone was ringing. They're saying, hey, we're on the way. We're bringing your stuff right now. We've got it for you. This was not, we'll get it to you next week on the next day at our convenience. This was, we bring your shit right away immediately. No, we got it for you right now. Do you see what I'm saying?
Now, I think that pretty much wraps it up. It ain't much else you can say that would rebut any of this stuff. We know authentication now, it's for travel. It's for pulling out of jurisdiction.
It's not for travel. It's for pulling out of jurisdiction. Your passport is for travel. So every time you go someplace and they need to like, hey, are you officially supposed to be here? Like, what's going on here? Hey, we need to ID you. We need to go ahead and give them your passport all day long. Give it to them. I don't even carry state ID. You want to ID me? Somebody, 2 times, cops have said, well, where's your state ID? Don't worry about where the fuck my state ID is. This is the #1 identification throughout the fucking world. You don't even have a right once you see this to ask me for a state ID, motherfucker. You don't even have a fucking right. You gonna tell me I gotta give you a fucking membership card? That's a membership card. I'm not a fucking member. I don't have to give you shit. Even if I had one, I don't have to give it to you. I don't have to give it to you. Matter of fact, if I did give it to you, you would be setting yourself up for failure. Because now we got to go to court. And when we go to court, your ass was in conspiracy trying to fuck me over. All you did was open up your booty hole to the Freemasons.
Ain't got nothing to do with the document being authentic or anything like that there. I mean, it's treated, as that way just for evidence purposes. But, we're adding affidavits and evidence to it to take it out of that status. To rebut all the misnomers and presumptions. I don't think I can say much more on it, y'all. Peace and love.
I am so happy that he didn't say much more on it, y'all, because that was not peaceful and that was not love. So, peace, deuces, and I'm going to go ahead and upload this one because I'm giving you love.